And for more analysis on this, let's talk to Chen Jiahe. He is the Chief Investment Officer at Neijuan Technologies. Jiahe, good evening to you. Actually, the so-called neijuan, or involution, is not a new term in history, but it's certainly not an easy term to understand. We're discussing this term today, of course, in the context of college students and young graduates forced to compete in an ever more competitive world today. How would you explain what this term means?
Well, I think when the word neijuan or involution is talked, it actually just comes from the competition that people face when they're trying to find a job in the labor market. I mean, we are now in an economy that is open. English become a must learning subject even in the primary school. More and more international companies are now operating in China. Look at how many new investment funds have entered the financial market in the past 2 years. So the competition in the labor market is never just domestic or say involution or neijuan. The competition is always there. Only today it actually stirs up the internet complaining. I mean, if we look at the past, this competition in the labor market is never new. It has always been there in China and in the world. I still remember that when I was a university student in the UK back almost 20 years ago, it took me days and nights to write and decorate my CV in order to find just an internship in the summer. I had to send out tens of CVs to get just 1 or 2 interviews. So the competition has never been easy. There is nothing new for the competition. It is always there. Only today it has a new name called neijuan.
What advice would you give to today's college students or young graduates who are finding it very difficult to land as the biggest challenges that young Chinese currently face, and how can they better equip themselves to cope with the challenges?
Well, to be frank, I think the youngsters today are actually facing a better environment compared with the people born in the 1970s or 1980s like me. The birth rate has been dropped a lot, so the fact is just that there are now much less competitors for this generation. Meanwhile, the property price rising has been stopped in most cities. China's per capita GDP is now above $10,000 and the average salary is much higher than the time when I was graduated. So overall speaking, their lives is actually better for now compared with the generations before. Regarding what they should notice today, I think one thing that young people shall be aware about is that they shall actively prepare themselves to embrace the world. With the COVID-19 in place, international studying is becoming a problem for the moment. So for a year or two, there will not be that many international students compared with the past. So the global viewing, the English skills for the students now will be reduced for a year or two. But we are still facing an open economy, and it is opening wider and wider today. So this is something that shall ring a bell.
And that impressive, well-decorated resume is never a bad idea for a young graduate. Jiahe, thank you so much for your analysis.